Justin Fields, who again is expected to take part in Ohio State's second pro day, which is scheduled for April 14th. It's important because the 49ers general manager and coach John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan will now get the opportunity to get an up-close look at him. And yesterday, our Tim Hasselbeck on this program had this to say about the Ohio State quarterback.
Look, I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft, and I think that he's really not all that far behind Trevor because some of the things he can do. I think he has the talent, Greeny, to one day potentially be a league MVP type of player. You can't say that for everybody that's involved in this draft.
Talent to be an MVP caliber player. And almost every analyst that we have had on this show over the last few weeks says they believe he is the second best quarterback in this draft. So I'm going to change up the question. We've talked about why he seems to be falling. Let's move past that for a moment. Matt Miller, forget about San Francisco at 3. Should the Jets be seriously considering taking Justin Fields number 2 in this draft?
I mean, should, yes. And I'm sure that Joe Douglas and his crew have run through this. But are they? I think they've moved past that. I think the fact that they were at Zach Wilson's pro day at BYU, everything right now signals that the New York Jets are all in on Zach Wilson, that decision has really been made for them. I do think that the gap between Justin Fields and Zach Wilson, in my mind, there isn't one. I think Justin Fields is the second quarterback in this class with Zach Wilson very, very close behind him. Yes, the Jets should be considering it, but Greeny, I think that your team has probably already made the decision and is locked in with who they're taking at number 2.
Yeah, so I guess the question then, Jeff Darlington, is as Justin Fields puts together another opportunity here, and the 49ers brass and anyone else who wants who can come and watch, these things are not in stone. We're 3 weeks actually to the day away from round 1 right here, Jeff. So as we right now, the conventional wisdom projects him to be the 5th quarterback off the board. That obviously is fluid, and next week could change that substantially, yes?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's so funny. Literally just had this thought pop into my head about Baker Mayfield several years ago. Like, do you remember, like, nobody thought, I remember a few days before having some conversations with some people, and it was like, hey, Baker Mayfield might go number 1 overall. And everybody's like, no, that's not going to happen. Baker Mayfield's not going number 1 overall. And he did. Things change. Like, it is, to your point, a very fluid process. Justin Fields had a really good pro day already. The first one, he ran a 4.44. He was accurate. He was explosive. He did all of the things that he needed to do. Now he'll do it in front of the 49ers brass. So while I'm with you on all of this, and there probably is a lot of accuracy in a lot of it, things definitely change. So you said it exactly right. Nothing here is written in stone.
It does bring up the question, though, Jeff. D-Wood, I'll get to you in a minute, but Matt, like, what is going to happen at this pro day? Like, what are people going to see they haven't seen? He's had a pro day. Yeah. He performed well. He put 2 outstanding seasons on tape at Ohio State. Yeah. What happens at a second pro day that's going to change something?
Nothing. And that's the key here. Is that's what makes it confusing. Is I understand having a second pro day. It's smart by Justin Fields. It's smart by Ohio State, who I'm told that Sean Wade, the corner, will also work out at this pro day. So it is a little confusing, though. I mean, what more can you ask a player to do? And I think that's what's frustrating as someone who kind of goes to bat for Justin Fields is, what more does he have to show? He was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. He had success at Georgia as a true freshman. He went to Ohio State, immediately becomes a starter, never loses a game in the Big Ten. He's a leader during the Black Lives Matter movement. He's advocating for people. He's getting his players involved. When the Big Ten shuts down, he starts the Let Us Play movement. All these things, there's nothing more that you could ask him to do. I don't know what one more pro day is going to convince the Niners or someone else to make him the quarterback.
You add to it, he took a hit in that game against Clemson, and I couldn't believe he was still walking, and he threw 6 touchdowns. D-Wood, your thoughts here. Justin Fields.
I just can't believe all the chatter out there, how this guy is sliding down boards. I mean, is everyone watching the same games that I'm watching with Justin Fields? Did everyone watch what he did head-to-head with Trevor Lawrence, where he totally outplayed Trevor Lawrence in one of the biggest stages in college football? I mean, you know, just like Matt said, I mean, this guy has shown everything since stepping on the college campus, whether it's the University of Georgia, at Ohio State, just dominating the Big Ten. What more does the guy need to do to prove that he's one of the top guys in this draft? I don't know.
Right.
He obviously thinks he needs to do something because he's going to have a second pro day, and we'll see. Jeff Darlington, final thought, go.
I'll go back to the same thing I said. This is a fluid one, guys. Give it some time. We'll see where he ends up. I think there is a lot of merit to especially those first 2 picks, and also Kyle Shanahan's kind of desire to go in a different direction. Things change. There's a reason why those guys are showing up at that pro day.
I continue not to buy into they're all set at 3 narrative that is emerging. I'm not questioning what anyone else is saying. It just maybe in my own mind, it just doesn't completely make sense. We'll see. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.